Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. This is Abby with Abby Reviews. New show alert. I repeat, new show alert. So there's a new show on called Superman and Lois. And I just felt behooved for some odd reason. I don't know why. I just felt like I needed to watch it. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna watch it for as long as this. I hope it's good. I hope it's good. Clearly, I'm a huge fan of Superman. Clearly, I'm a huge fan of Superman. So I wanted to watch this. It comes on the CW. It is a scripted show. I needed something to cleanse my palate after having to watch the basketball girls. So let's get into it, shall we? Yes. Pause. So, hold on. I don't know what the hell is going on. So it started out with the normal origin story. He fell out the sky. His parents found him in the woods. They adopted him. They raised him as their own. He got to be in high school. His father had a heart attack and died. Daddy dead. Gone. Out of the picture. Not even going to deal with the dad. So they go. And then I never forget, working at the Planet. At the news source, and that's where I met her, Lois, and then I told her who I was, and we fell in love, and we got married, and now they have babies. We are 3 minutes and 44 seconds into the show, and the whole lifetime has happened. This nigga has fell from the earth. Kal-El then changed his name to Clark. He became Superman. He's saving people. He done fell in love with Lois. They done got married and had babies. What the hell is going on? The hell? Normally, this takes 3 seasons to get to. Okay, all right. Before we get to him saving for the nuclear reactor and shit, now they saying the boys are night and day. So one boy is the happy-go-lucky, everything is awesome kind of baby, and the other one is moody, and he has night terrors. And oh God, is he gonna turn evil? Jesus Christ, is that what it is? The good twin and the bad twin? Oh my God, I'm all in. So there's this giant nuclear reactor that's going off. And so he freezes a whole big chunk of water and cools it down, and he closes up the cracks. He talks to the general, who happens to be Lois's daddy. And, he's like, the cracks were man-made. I don't know how the people got the equipment in there. But they don't try to figure it out. So I'm sure that's a plot point somewhere in here. And then he talks about taking the boys fishing, maybe even getting the depressed twin or the bad twin, I guess. I don't know. John and Jordan are the names. And Jordan is the one with the issues and depressed and mopey. So he was like, we'll see. We'll get some dates. And then he takes off flying. I didn't know that Lois's daddy was the general. I was wondering why he was at their wedding. I guess that makes sense now. All right, moving on. Wait a damn minute. Does his children not know he's Superman? Do the children not know he's Superman? They don't know their daddy's Superman? That's like finding out your dad is Santa Claus. It's just going to be weird. Okay, so the boys are getting ready to start high school the next day. John has already been cast as the starting QB for the varsity team because Superman's his dad and he's got superpowers. He just doesn't know yet. Now this Jordan child, they had therapy and he missed it because he was out being a superhero, and he comes to apologize for missing therapy. And he's like, Mom told me you couldn't get a flight back from Wichita. Not that you was out saving people and shit. I think you ought to tell your children, because I think that's why they both fucked to the boy Jordan's room, who's the dark twin. And Jordan is playing Mortal Kombat that has DC characters in it. And he's playing Raiden, and he's fighting Superman and beating the piss out of Superman. His dad comes in and sees the fighting Superman. He's like, oh, you make a great Superman. He's like, oh no, Superman is born, I'm Raiden. He's like, oh. And I thought he was doing that because it was low-key, like shading his dad because his dad is Superman. But if this nigga don't even know his daddy is Superman, okay, this is going to cause all kind of problems. You need to tell your children that you're Superman. Like, you just need to tell them. You need to say, I think it will open up a world of things. First of all, you're going to have to get that Jordan boy under control because I feel like he's a little too cocky. Too much shit is happening with him. And then secondly, that Jordan boy, he needs the confirmation. Tell your children the truth. Thanks. Oh my God, pause. Okay, so a lot is happening. Oh my god. Oh my god. So the boys, it's their first day of school. Um, Lois and Clark are having a conversation. Lois wants to tell the boys that who their daddy is, that he's Superman. And he was like, I don't want them to feel more alienated than they already feel. I don't want the son to get the big head thinking he got superpowers and now he can just do whatever he want willy-nilly. And I don't want Jordan to feel more bad than he already does, blah, blah, blah. So they get to work and people are being laid off. And so they get called into the office. Lois keeps her job, but Clark got fired. And so they having a conversation. Now, I knew something was hinky with the mama when she called and she was like, she had a pause where he asked her if she was okay. And she paused in her answer. And I knew something wasn't going to be right. So it's the doctor calling on his mama's phone as they are discussing how he going to explain him being gone all the time if he ain't got no job. It's the doctor. His mama done had a whole ass stroke and done passed away, Jesus. So he superpowers his way over to his mama's house to hold her hand as she going on to meet the Lord God. And now, I don't know what's the Lord. His mama gone. His daddy gone. The children is entering into high school. He done lost his job, Jesus. It's a lot. It's a whole lot in this first episode. The daughter telling all the business. Hold on, pause. So they are at Miss Martha's funeral. They at the repast at the house. And so Lana shows up. Her name is different now. It's whatever her husband's name is. And her two daughters and her husband show up. And they hugging and say, oh, thank you so much for coming. Your mother was wonderful to us. Blah, 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 blah. And so the daddy is being a dick. And he was introduced. He's like, the youngest baby, that's Sophia. And the one over there with the perma-scowl, that's Sarah. Which I think Jordan, the brother, likes Sarah. So, because they stayed there one summer and they met and lovely. And so baby girl says, I went to high school with him. And she was like, no, you dated him. That's why daddy was mad when you went on his Facebook page. Bitch. Everybody. Embarrassing the whole family. Embarrassing. Little kids just say anything out their mouths. Jesus. It's made for the... So Lois and Kyle, Lana's husband, get into a difference of opinion because Kyle thinks he knows every fucking thing in the world. And when anybody opposes his opinion, especially a woman, clearly it's an issue. And so Lana makes a cryptic remark about the farm and their mama at the bank and to come to the bank tomorrow for them to talk about it. I don't know what the fuck is going on, but that doesn't bode well. The boys are in the barn with Sarah, the oldest daughter, and they talk about hanging out, and James was like, well, I'm taking, but you can hang out. He don't know what to say out of his mouth. And she was like, well, just give me your number, give me your phone, I'll put my number in, and I'll text you and we can hang out. And James is looking confused. She's like, not you. She says, Jordan, give me your phone. So he gives her a phone. And so Jordan says, oh, I found the router, because the reason they went in the barn. So Jordan falls off the barn hard onto the ground. Boom. And then these big metal poles are about to fall and crush Jordan. And James runs over and covers Jordan with his body. And they're both covered in them big heavy metal things. Their father hears it because he in the house. And now I'm assuming this is when we found out the boys have power. Yep. Lois' daddy is tripping, for real. He tripping hard. So the boys are fine. They just have a concussion. Again, they're revisiting the conversation that they need to tell the boys that their daddy is Superman and they may have superpowers. Clark thinks that James has superpowers. He does not think Jordan has superpowers. I don't think he understands. He thinks that James shielded Jordan with his body, and Jordan is the only one with the superpowers. But I think James' powers are probably more powerful than what James got going on. But we will see. Lois' daddy come back in town, and then he with this information about who broke into the nuclear power plants and caused the almost catastrophic incident. And Lois put her foot down. She's like, that's cute that all of this is happening, but his mama just died, so he's not going nowhere. I don't give a damn. And then her daddy is like, I tried to warn your ass that you may have fallen in love with Clark Kent, but you married Superman. He don't get to have a normal life, no matter how much you want it for him. And Lois was like, fuck what you heard. put a dick in your ear and fuck what you heard. This is my husband. His mama just died. He not going anywhere to do anything. How about that? Boom. And we gonna see what happens, here. So much is happening. Okay, so Clark and Lois go to the bank to meet with Lana, and she explains that Miss Martha took a reverse mortgage out on her home, and there was some supplement that she could that there would still be enough for the boys to go to college. She did it to help somebody. She was the neighborhood superwoman for the town. So they have a decision to make, either to pay the mortgage off and they own the farm outright, or take a healthy buyout and they have a whole bunch of money. Meanwhile, the boys are snooping in the barn trying to figure out what the fuck is going on. They find the ship that their daddy landed in, and Jordan touches it, and a piece breaks off in his hand. Lord Jesus, I don't know if that's going to activate the powers in the boys or what, but woo, here we go. So they get home from the bank. Lois is like, something with these loans is hinky. I'm gonna figure it out, because they just not being generous with people with these farms in the middle of a crisis. Something is hinky. So the boys run up on the car, and they're like, so you want to go tell us that's what you was hiding in the barn, is an alien ship? And then he tells him, the ship brought me here from Krypton. I'm Superman. He's like, Jordan is like, no, you're not Superman. I've seen Superman up close. You're not him. He says, oh, really? So he takes his glasses off. I thought that was going to be enough. I was about to say, I know good and fucking well this is not the first time these children have seen their daddy without his glasses on. He takes the glasses off, he picks up the truck, and then floats in the middle of the air to prove that he's Superman. The boys do not take it well. And then it comes out that he thinks that one of them may have superpowers and one may not. And Jordan is like, well, fuck you, nigga, and walks off. And Jordan is like, and the other baby is like, yeah, just leave us alone. And now neither one of them are talking to either one of their parents, because they're like, you lied to us. Okay, pause. I'm so sick of these same poor commercials. Okay, so in the middle of he having this existential crisis about, is he a good dad, and oh my God, what are we gonna do about the children? He gets a mental call that another nuclear facility is in trouble. So he arrives at the nuclear facility, and he was like, I know you're here. And he was like, yeah, but you can't see me. He's like, yeah, because it's lead encasement. He's like, yeah, you can't see through lead. It's one of your weaknesses. He's like, yeah, so you could watch. Superman's like, yeah, so you could watch me without you being seen. And he was like, absolutely, Kal-El. So you calling him by the name his mama called him? His mama called him Kal-El, so I'm gonna call him Kal-El. You know what? I'm not even gonna say. But somebody brought him there. We don't know why yet. Jesus Christ. What the? Okay. Okay. So the boys go. Well, Jordan goes to the party with Sarah, and they're talking, and she talks about how she almost committed suicide. There's something about this town, sadness comes over you, and depression, yada yada. So he leans over and kisses her. She's like, oh my God. And then her boyfriend, some little black boy, came out of nowhere and started to fight him. And then his brother comes out of nowhere and tries to defend him. They're both getting beat the hell out of. And meanwhile, Kal-El is chasing whoever this person is that knows all this stuff about him, and they go up into outer space so they don't ruin the whole city or wherever they're going to fight at. And the man says, how do I know so much about you? And my home was destroyed and blah, blah, and you still trying to figure out who you are and state your worth and stuff. And so he says that the only pieces that's left from your world makes you sick. And then he takes some kryptonite and shoves it in his chest. And now he's falling to the earth. He's falling back into the earth's atmosphere. Now the boys are being beat to shit. And so Jordan is getting angrier and angrier as he's seeing his brother getting the fuck kicked out of him. This boy eyes start to glow red, very bright burn. I hope that's not where we're going. And he blows up some shit to get them off of his brother. I don't know what's happening. This is making me nervous. A lot of shit is going down in this one episode. This is the pilot, for God's sakes. So, as he's falling to earth, they pull out the little cigarette lighty thing that his communicator. And she was like, Clark, come home. And so, he comes to himself enough to pull the kryptonite out of his chest and stop himself from almost landing in the middle and destroying somebody's car. He gets home. They see that Jordan has the powers and not Jonathan. Oh, God. And they made the decision that they're now going to move to the town, Smallville. And they're going to try and help Jordan get through what his powers are. Jonathan's being a normal brother and joking the fuck out of his brother. But then he sits down and have a conversation with Jordan, and they come to some meeting of the minds. So and that Clark Kent could be a better dad to his son, which is super cute. But there's some shit going on with this town, and I'm not sure exactly what it is. And I think the super robot man who knows all about Superman got something to do with it. So we'll see how that strikes out. And I also think her Lois daddy is in on the shenanigans as well. But we'll figure it out. Okay, because this is the end of the episode. So we find out that the big bad is Lex Luthor. Why is he dressed like a Decepticon? I'm so confused as to what's happening. I need his backstory. They're going to move to Smallville. They're talking to the boys. They're going to have a family to discuss it. Sarah and Jordan are okay. Their secrets are safe. That Jordan has powers and blow shit up with his eyeballs. All in all, this was a good episode. Let's get into the final thoughts. So pleasantly surprised by this whole shindig. I wasn't even aware that it came out until I saw somebody else like, oh my God, I forgot it was coming out. But so much happened in this episode, like a whole lifetime happened. Like they immediately like, okay, Orange's story done and done. Parents done and done, dead gone, done and done. Now we look to the future where Clark Kent is somebody's daddy and his children have superpowers. That Jonathan is gonna come up with something. Just because Jordan powers are activated doesn't mean that Jonathan doesn't have powers. I feel like that's going to happen at another time. If you watch this, jump in the comments. Let's talk about it. I'm all in for Superman and Lois. Like, comment, and subscribe. Tell a friend, tell a kid, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.